Have you ever wondered what it's like to be 20 again? Now you might be saying, Jason, I'm still in my 20s. I'm still young. Well, one day you'll become 30, then 40, all the way up to 70, and then you too will be wondering what it's like to be 20 again. So take that. So Miss Granny starts off one day in a university room where a professor lectures the students on the concept of aging. Now, a lot of the students are just dissing old people, saying they're old, they're smelly, they're senile, they keep forgetting things. And you can just tell the classroom is like, when I become 50 or 60 or 70, I just want to die. It's really sad. And the professor reconfirms to his class, there's just a lot of ageism in Korea. Meanwhile, the professor's mother, Oh Mal-soon, is in her 70s and is really underappreciated. Yes, she's the family hierarch, but many in her family are just getting annoyed by her old-fashioned ways. In a sense, she is very bossy and senile. Oh Mal-soon's son, the university professor talked about earlier, his wife is extremely annoyed by his mother-in-law. In fact, they actually hatch a plan to move Oh Mal-soon to a retirement home. However, Mal-soon hears about this and becomes very sad. She even becomes even more unappreciative of the sacrifices she made to her family when she was growing up. But most of the family doesn't see this. So one day, Oh Mal-soon's grandson, Ji-ha, who plays in a metal rock band, asks her grandma if she can treat not only him to dinner, but his friends as well, pretty much using his grandma as an ATM. Now to be fair, even though Ji-ha is trying to use his grandmother as his personal ATM to treat his friends out, he's one of the few people that actually appreciates his grandmother. But along the way to meet her grandson and his friends, Oh Mal-soon stumbles upon a magical photo shop. And I say magical because once you go inside, you can take a picture of yourself and you go back to your 20s. Played by the delightful actress eun-kyung. Now, after she leaves this magical photo shop, she turns around to see it's disappeared. So she actually misses her dinner date with her grandson. So after that missed dinner date, her grandson starts to actually doubt her grandmother just a little bit. But Ji-ha doesn't know her grandmother is back to 20. And as Oh Mal-soon goes back home unaware of how she looks or that she's back to her early 20s, she goes onto a bus, sees a bunch of college guys hitting on her, and in a funny moment, she just flips out and goes into her grandma mode, smacks them in the ear, hits them in the face, and she goes, "Who are you calling pretty and hot?" And then when the college kids say, "You," she's like, why are you hitting on a grandmother? Looks in the mirror, sees a reflection of her 20-year-old self, and just screams. And then from there, the movie turns into a hilarious adventure as what will Oh Mal-soon do next as she's back to her 20s. She tries to adjust to her youth, but you know she's stuck in her old ways. So as Oh Mal-soon is enjoying her youth back to her 20s, her family worries about her as she's missing now. Her family actually files a police report saying that she's kidnapped. Meanwhile, the story even gets better as how does Oh Mal-soon tell her family that she's stuck in a 20-year-old body? And that's when the movie continues its hilarious adventures as Oh Mal-soon stuck in a 20-year-old's body with a 70-year-old mindset. Now we can't talk about this movie without its wonderful actors, and headlining this group is eun-kyung, who plays the young version of the grandmother, Oh Mal-soon. In fact, she fits the roles to a T, and there's many parts in the movie where she wants to relive her dreams back in her 20s. She was once a renowned singer in her early youth, but her family doesn't get to know. But when she goes back to her 20s, her family gets to see her awesome singing. In one funny moment of the movie, Ji-ha, her grandson, is in a metal band with two of his other friends. So when the young Oh Mal-soon comes in, she goes, "Hey, I want to audition as a singer for your metal band. But instead of having it metal, let's switch it to pop ballad." You can see eun-kyung at her finest, giving the group sass, attitude, and say, "We're going to do it my way, and we're going to do it in a cutesy way." Other actors that did really well in the movie include Jin-young, who is from B1A4 and plays Ji-ha, the grandson. But in a weird, creepy / respectful moment, he actually has the hots for his young grandmother. Oh my gosh. And another notable actor in this movie is Song Dong-il. And if you watch Korean dramas, you've probably seen him in all of the Reply series, such as Reply 1997, Reply 1994, and the newest one, Reply 1998. Of course, we can't leave out famed actress Nam Moon-hee, who plays the older grandmother. Her reactions as a 70-year-old grandmother are hilarious. She knows what's up. She's the family patriarch. She doesn't take any crap for anyone, which makes her acting in her role an awesome addition to this movie. The music is also a great add to this movie, as eun-kyung doubles as a singer in this movie, and some of her hits, such as When I Was in LA, get stuck in your head. In fact, the movie's OST fits the pop ballad angle they were shooting for. And as for this movie's success, this movie came out of the floodgates, coming in second from that Disney movie you probably heard of called Frozen. As word of mouth got around that you gotta watch Miss Granny, but its 12th day, this movie sold over 4 million tickets. Miss Granny's success was even felt overseas, as Asian country after Asian country started to make its own version of Miss Granny. Arguably, its most popular non-Korean spin-off of the movie is called 20 Once Again, which is the Chinese version and features its own strong cast in its film. There was also a Japanese remake called Ayashi Kanojo, as well as a Vietnamese version called Sweet 20, which is one of the highest selling Vietnamese films in its history. And the Miss Granny remake train is not slowing down anytime soon, as there'll be a Thai and Indonesian remake in the near future. Now, I think a major reason why Miss Granny caught on throughout Asia and became so popular is because of that central theme. What would you do again if you were in your late 60s, 70s, and you went back to your 20s? The whole concept, if we knew the knowledge we know today, and we can just go back in time and change a few simple mistakes and life choices here and there, what would we do? And that concept is relatable to a whole lot of people. That's what makes Miss Granny so great. And it might actually give some viewers of this movie a new sense of purpose. And I think the movie will resonate with those people, because you never want to play the what if game when you're in your late 60s or 70s. Like, I missed that opportunity. What if I can go back 30, 40 years and do that opportunity again? I would actually say that this movie is a gateway movie to newcomers to Korean cinema. It's that good. People will enjoy this rom-com. It's a movie that everyone can relate to and gives a sense of purpose to people's lives. And of course, if you're a fan of eun-kyung, you gotta see this movie. If you guys like this Miss Granny review and want to see more reviews on Asian film, please subscribe below. And if you guys want even more Asian movie suggestions, please subscribe to our email list below and pick up your free ebook, 108 Asian Movies to Watch. And for the people that's already watched Miss Granny, I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave them in the comments below. See if you agree, disagree, or have your own critiques about this film. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.